Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're looking at chapter number 58 of Black Clover. Now, as you're well aware, it normally comes out quite late. It normally comes around about the time the Viz Media release comes out. Normally it comes out Tuesday, Wednesday, but thankfully, and it's a positive sign for things moving forward, it came out literally late Monday night. So I'm still going to be doing the reviews on Tuesdays, but at least you'll get to see it a little bit in advance other than checking out the Korean scans. To give you a bit of a channel update of things to expect, unfortunately it looks like Manga Screen have stopped doing scanalations for NN no Shubatai, Fire Brigade of Flames. So until we find I find another scanalator that does that will really be put on hold up until someone else does it, pretty much. This does give the opportunity for other mangas to be looked at. One of them I was looking at is Smoking Parade, so I will start reviewing that because I have heard good things about it, and I did like the pilot or the opening chapter. So that's hopefully going to come in place for that for the time being. Also, I haven't forgot that Platinum End. It is on my to-do list, so hopefully that should be hitting us tomorrow, unless we get an early release of One Piece, which can happen. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this review. So, a relatively simple chapter, but I think an essential chapter for Noella's development. There was a lingering plot point with her magic, because if you look at all the other characters, we've got to see some development. We've got loads of information on Yami, we've introduced a lot of captains. You know, Asta had some development with the chi, kind of the key, like, finding ability. Obviously we've had the situation with Yuno and the Self, and a lot of things that Asta has been doing. Also, Gouch had time to shine, so I think it was about time that we had something on Noella. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the summary of the chapter and then some points at the end about things to consider and my theories about things coming forward. So let's get into it. So it starts off with the girl that's singing, and now Asta mentions she was always see a ghost or something, and she gets all embarrassed and she's like, "Oh, did you hear me?" And if we find out her name is Kahono. She seems to be very naive, because when they introduce themselves, Noella says, "Oh, my name is Noella, and this guy is Dumpster," taking the mick out of Asta. And she's, "Oh, Dumpster, nice to meet you. That's a really strange name." So she seems quite naive and innocent in that regards. Now we get to find out about her motivations, and she says she wants to be some type of idol, kind of a Justin Bieber or something like that, where like she's got fans and she wants to rake in a lot of money, and she kind of very Nami-esque in that regards, because later on in the episode she does this healing technique called the healing lullaby on Asta, and gets rid of his kind of I guess it gets rid of his fatigue rather than damage, but more fatigue because of his training. And she basically goes, that's going to be 100 berries or whatever it might be. So very Nami-esque in that regard, which I kind of found funny. We find out that she's 15 years old, of a similar age to that, and she comes off a very, very naive, like I said, I keep reinforcing that point, which leads me to believe that she's either royalty or something else altogether, but I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, so we find an interesting point that we weren't aware of with Noella. So Noella's, being that she comes from royalty and everything else, one of the reasons why she lacks control is because she's trying to suppress her vast amounts of mana, and because of that she can't control it. So to kind of overcome that barrier, he really just has to let go, kind of like letting go of her mana. So the way that she's told to kind of control was interesting, because it made me think of, I don't know if this is going back with some people, but the Robin Williams movie Captain Hook, about having the good memories and things like that, and that's what she needed. So you go think back to your family and think about a good memory, but then when she thought about it, she had all these bad memories. So she turns out she's the youngest. All her elder siblings, brothers and sisters, are just obnoxious pain in the asses. She's like the runt of the litter to them, and they kind of wish she wasn't alive, because when she was born, their mother died. So obviously they hold some type of disdain or negative look towards her because of that situation. Similar to how in Game of Thrones, Tyrion Lannister is kind of given that same type of thing. However, with Tyrion Lannister, his older brother, Jaime, is a bit more supportive. Unfortunately for Noella in this situation, that isn't the case. So when she's trying, she's failing because she's struggling to get a positive idea for her to be calm and peaceful and at ease with. And then she gets supported by a guild or her order. And that for me, it was kind of a tug on the heartstring moment, because although she felt like she didn't really have a supporting family from her real family, the Black Bull and the family and the order itself, every member supported her to make her feel like she's got a new family. And I thought that was like a touching scene. It was a good scene for that character in the character developments kind of side of things. And you know, Asta's there going, don't worry about it, I'll help you out if you need to. And I was like, yeah, I'll catch you, don't worry about it. You know, like everybody's there being funny, the little quirks of their Gouch is there, and you know, all the rest of them are basically there as well. So she finally does the actual technique, and it is massive. I have used it in a thumbnail, hopefully it won't get done for anything in terms of the fair use type of thing, but it is massive in comparison to how she was originally. So when she first got the technique, it probably was maybe a little bit bigger than her, or twice the size of her. Now when she let go, it's probably about 20 times as big. So that panel, when you look at that panel and how small she looks in that sphere, it really kind of shows how much potential this character has if only she let go. Now, it was called Naga's Cradle, and it was huge. It's water creation magic. She eventually loses concentration and she falls, and Asta catches her, which is kind of cute because it's the whole pairing situation. Even though he's not really interested, he was always thinking about the sister. She's like, oh, get off me, and you know, it's that kind of cuteness is still there, I guess. And then Yami's like, perfect timing, let's go. So that's pretty much in a nutshell the chapter. What was important though is right at the end, before she goes, that girl, she goes, I'll see you in the water temple. And that's key, because although it's a small detail, and she's talking about, you know, enjoying and celebrating with these people, it's a key point because it could potentially set up or give a foreshadow or clue to what's to come. Why is it important that girl go to that temple? Is she trapped in that temple? Is that part of her process? Is she a guardian of that temple? And was this process kind of a rites to passage for her, or a kind of a trial that she had to overcome to be worthy? Here's a few things now that I thought is possible with this one. Maybe this girl in general, so maybe she's cursed. Maybe she is cursed to be a guardian of that place, and although she's 15 years old, biologically, as in like she thinks she's 15 years old, it's body-wise, she could actually be a lot older than she realizes, because she's been down there for, this is again, been down there for a while. This is purely speculation at this point. Another thing that comes to mind, and it's to do with the whole ideas of sylphs. So we've been told that there's 4 types of sylphs out there, and it's a generational thing. It connects to a magic user per generation. The wind sylph, or the wind magic type of sylph, has been attached to Juno or Juno, right? We know that Fana or Fana has the salamander of fire. Could it be quite possible that this character is actually a guardian of the sylph, or the sylph itself, of the water magic? Quite possible, because we've seen the other ones come out. I know it probably seems a bit early, but with 58 chapters into it, it's quite possible that once we go through the process of getting the gem and everything else, that she's deemed worthy of having the sylph. Because from a power point of view, that will help her skyrocket, and she's able to let go and control. It'll be a kick in the teeth to all her brothers and sisters, who are, for all intents and purposes, pins in the ass and arrogant pricks, really. And it would be fitting that she kind of shoves that down their throat and says, look, you can eat your words now. I'm not a runt, you know, I'm not a mistake. Here's me as a mage, on the same level as you lot, showing she's capable. I think that would be fitting for her. Again, this is speculation, and this is just my theory. As always, we don't know which direction the mangaka is going to go into. I'm going to be interested to find out. That's my little bit of analysis at the end, a bit of theory, a bit of thoughts. What are your thoughts? Did you enjoy the chapter? Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this review and the chapter. Any points that I missed, let me know in the comment section below. Or if anything I mentioned triggers something, please get involved in the conversation. I really do enjoy it. There's a few members of that are subscribed to me, that part of this little mini community that I'm building here, that do. So thank you very much for doing that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. I'm on 49 subscribers at the moment. I want to get to 50 in the goal to get to 100 by the end of June, and the idea is to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. I know I can do it with your support, so please, if there's something you enjoy, if you like my videos, you don't necessarily have to comment if you don't want to, but please share it with your friends and get as many people on board as possible so we can let this community grow. I'm not going anywhere. I'm planning to do this for a very long time. So you'll get used to this face for a very long time to come. But anyway, that's all for me today, guys. Like I said, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. But as always, peace.